See, when it comes down to a man's existence as a human being, I'm talking about when it comes time to determine what he has done while he was on the face of this planet. Everything gets pinpointed to legacy. You know what I mean? Like, that's really the only thing a man could leave behind. All he could leave behind is his legacy. And a legacy could be amazing, and it could sustain his whole generation forever. But by picking the wrong individual to share that legacy with, that could completely destroy the greatest legacies on the planet. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is that men got to be extremely careful who they pick as a partner, as a wife. Who they got to be extremely careful who they pick as a wife, because an amazing wife takes that legacy and propels it into greatness. But it's a total opposite when you got a bad wife. When you got a messed up partner that doesn't see you as a partner, that actually sees you as an obstacle for greatness, for her greatness, then everything goes downhill. You know what I mean? For example, AYESHA Curry, Steph Curry's wife. Okay. He's making a ways, her turns around the podcast realm and completely single-handedly, purposely, I believe, destroying this man's legacy. You know what I mean? Steph Curry, arguably, when you put him in the context of who changed the game of basketball, Steph Curry got to be number one or two up there. He completely changed the way anybody plays the game. You know what I mean? He completely changed the way individuals that never thought they had an opportunity. If you're under 6 foot tall, but when you see Steph Curry, everything's possible. You know what I mean? Like, definitely top 10 for sure. And arguably, you could even put him in the top 5. But when it comes to what he has done for the legacy of the NBA, for the legacy of basketball, you got to put him number 1 or 2. You know what I mean? But everything that he has created his whole life, when it comes to basketball, that legacy that's so intact, is being destroyed by this woman. No disrespect to him, but it's being destroyed by his wife. You know what I mean? AYESHA Curry goes on podcasts talking about, I never wanted to be a mother. I could care less about being a mother or a wife. Just imagine your kids like 10, 15 years from now, seeing that footage, knowing that she didn't even want them. You know what I mean? Like, what kind of individual would say this, knowing that she's married to probably one of the most famous athletes on the planet and stuff like this? Like, people are going to take it and twist it and, remix it. And there's nothing she can do about it because she volunteered this information. She was on another podcast, Jada Pinkett, of all people. You know what I mean? Of all people, the podcast you choose to tell your story is Jada Pinkett's podcast. Now, mind you, now she's on there talking about she's jealous of Steph Curry because, when she was younger, she had all this male attention. Now she's a little bit older and Steph Curry gets the attention and no men are chasing her down. Like, I'm confused there. You got to make it make sense, right? You're married to probably, if not the best player, one of the best players ever to grace the hardwood floors. And all you want is male attention from a bunch of strangers that could care less. Like, I'm confused here, you know what I mean? She was arguing. She was actually sitting there, like, borderline almost tears, saying, how come I don't get this attention no more? And the women on that podcast They're encouraging this as well. Like they're like, oh, they're co-signing this. You know what I mean? Just think about it. Tiger Woods, okay, greatest golfer of all time. What's his legacy when you think about it? You know, that woman he decided to have an association with that ruined his legacy. You know, the waitress, sorry. Okay. I could keep on going down, you know, the line. Will Smith, I Robot, Men in Black, Fresh Prince of Bel Air, the first rapper to ever win a Grammy Award for hip hop. All this legacy. Everything about Will Smith was legendary that he did. But what are you gonna know Will Smith for when it's all said and done? It's gonna be Jada's foolishness, his wife's foolishness, the entanglement, the slap with Chris Rock that he did because of Jada. You know? Keep on going. Kanye West. What is he gonna be known for? Kim Kardashian. He's not even married to her. But that's his legacy. Barack Obama. Shoot. He might be even be known for Michelle or Michael. Like, he's a president. First black president. But his legacy is probably gonna be Michael. Like, you could keep on going down the line. Puffy. His legacy is gonna be Cassie. All these men that probably had single-handedly the greatest legacy on the planet, the whole legacy got destroyed because they picked the wrong 304. They picked the wrong 304. You gotta be careful, dudes, man. Like, another example of somebody that threw away his legacy because of a 304 is probably arguably, you know, the number one musician, versatile musician on the planet, Tory Lanez, right? Like, Tory Lanez is the most talented human being when it comes to music. I'm talking about every single genre on the planet. He could do it flawlessly, and he could do it well. And he has number one hits in probably every single one of those genres, 4 or 5 different genres. But when it's all said and done, when Tory Lanez's career is over, the legacy that he's going to be remembered for was Megan Thee Stallion. That's the legacy. Picking the wrong 304. The right woman could take your legacy and cement it. But the wrong 304, the wrong woman, could completely destroy everything that you have ever done from day one. It could be a legacy it took about 30 years for you to build, and it'll be destroyed in one night because you have the wrong person standing beside you. You know what I mean? It's crazy. And all these examples, and people still make the same mistakes over and over and over again. So man, we gotta do better, man. We gotta look at life and determine every single choice that we do make. We have to consider, is this gonna advance my legacy, or destroy my legacy, or stagnate my legacy? And if the answer is anything but advance my legacy, I ain't the one, and she ain't the one. It's not it. Now, I could sit here and name off dozens upon dozens of individuals that were the top of the crop when it comes to whatever talent they were doing, right? Like, I Another one, Johnny Depp. Okay. Pirates of the Caribbean. That alone, I don't even have to say anything more, but I'm going to go way back and I'm going to go with 21 Jump Street. You know what I mean? Syndicated show. One of the greatest shows on the planet. And every single movie Johnny Depp did, this guy was considered probably one of the best actors on the planet ever to do it. But when you think of Johnny Depp now, you're going to think of his wife, Amber. You're going to think of his wife, the accusations, the psychotic meltdowns that she had, the whole circus show of a trial that she tried to destroy his life and everything. Like it doesn't stop. You know what I mean? All these great men. Not even current times. We could go back to biblical times, man. Samson. You know what I mean? Chose the wrong 3 or 4. Like, we got to do better, man. You know, if we find somebody that's real, that's genuine, that's willing to ride and die for us, I'm talking about men looking for that woman with character, the virtuous woman. I'm talking about a woman that adds to your legacy, that's not trying to destroy it purposely. Like all those women I named off, they purposely set out to destroy whatever their husbands built because it wasn't them in the spotlight, it was their husband. Like AYESHA Curry said it herself, man, she's jealous of her husband. Like, how can you be jealous of your husband? You know? There was an episode when she was on a talk show, the all woman talk show, and you know, they had like a male stripper come out and stuff like that. And she grabbed a wedding ring to try to take it off so she could engage in whatever what was going on with the stripper dude. You know what I mean? Like, you're married to Steph Curry, man. Clean, cut, role model, everything. And you're making these men look like clowns, man. But these guys picking these girls is the real issue. You know? It's really a shame. Like, your legacy is for your children, you know what I mean? You cannot pick something, you cannot pick somebody that you're gonna put in front of your legacy, because your legacy is for your children's children. It's not for one individual. That person's gonna come and go, or that person's gonna backstab you, but you are ordained to make sure your kids eat. And all of that is destroyed because you picked the wrong 3 or 4. You got to be careful, man. You know? You got to use wisdom, because these individuals never use with any wisdom whatsoever, shape, or form. You know? Of all the people on the planet, AYESHA Curry decides to sit down with to tell her story. She picks Jada Pinkett Smith. Like, these women fully understand what's at stake, but they don't care. You know what I mean? I know mothers that single-handedly chose to destroy or trying to destroy their own daughters' lives because of jealousy. Jada Pinkett, jealous of Will Smith. AYESHA Curry, you know what I mean? Like, I can't, I'm confused. I'm really, really confused. How in the world are you willing to destroy everything that your family created, your husband created, the legacy for your kids for some moment of self glorification or gratification? How? Like, you gotta run down. Like, Will Smith has about 20 top 10 movies. You know, he has about 5 to 10 top 10 songs. But all of that is out the window. And when you put Will Smith, all you're gonna think about after it's all said and done, all you're gonna think about is the slap because of Jada and the entanglement because of Jada. And these dudes, they co-signing this, you know what I mean? Like, you got Steph Curry here looking crazy, defending his wife, instead of sitting her down and talking to her and say, yo, you gotta stay off the social media, man. Like, you're destroying us. You know what I mean? But dudes is going back and forth, like, you know, arguing with rappers, man. Like, he's looking crazy because they're trying to warn him, but he's looking crazy. He's co-signing this. Same thing with Will Smith. You know, one thing I've learned in life is that nothing's bigger than the legacy as a man, sorry, let me rephrase. As a man, nothing's bigger than the legacy you create for your children. And since that's the main goal, make sure the person you pick to create that legacy with is creating the legacy with you, not destroying it.
Okay, you're here.
I'm here. Hello, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good.
Oh, I'm just phenomenal.
Okay, and your name?
I'm Victoria.
Victoria?
I'm Chase.
Chase, okay. What would you say is your biggest ick in a relationship?
Chasing the pong ball.
Chasing, sorry?
The pong ball, like when they crouch and they like run.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I can't do that.
Oh, okay.
I can't. It's just like when they, you know? Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. And what would you say your biggest ick is?
I would say lack of communication.
Elaborate, meaning to say what?
When people don't want to talk about an issue, something that they find upsetting, and don't want to compromise. That's my biggest problem.
Okay, now do you feel women have more issues communicating or guys?
Guys, for sure.
What would you say?
I could agree. I think sometimes a lot of women come off like strong, but it's like out of like it builds up, you know? I would agree. Yeah. I think sometimes women, it comes out because they see a lot of stuff more sometimes than men. I'm gonna stand on that. And then they like it kind of all comes out at once, whereas men they don't see it as much, and so like they just kind of shut down.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. So you want transparency, communication, and right? So let's say a guy came home and is extremely upset, right? And he started crying, and so is he vulnerable? He's opening up to you. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. I would prefer a man show what he's feeling and try to help me through what he's feeling and what the problem is, and try to like get me to help him, then like shut it down.
Okay, so what if he's doing that every single day for a whole week, crying?
I would say like at that point I'm gonna say, okay, honestly, like I have a boyfriend, so like I would say if that was happening to him, I would stand by him the whole time. If it got to a point where I was like, this is concerning, I would say let's try to find more options, because obviously this is like something that's going on with him. It's an issue, you know?
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so you have a boyfriend too?
I do not.
Okay, so let me ask you this question then. When you do get a boyfriend and eventually becomes a husband, who's the head of the house?
I I low-key, like, I kind of want to be it.
You want to be the head of the house?
Yeah, it depends. It depends what our jobs are, like,
Okay.
like what the vibes are. I want it 50-50.
Okay.
So I'm okay to do like all the cleaning if I'm like stay at home. I'll like do all the housework.
Traditional girl.
Yeah, I'll be
Traditional.
either traditional or like it's 50-50.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like
Exactly.
we are doing everything. We're splitting everything.
Okay, so who's the head of the house for you?
I would say probably me, just like thinking of the relationship that I'm in. I know more. I'm gonna be I'm gonna be honest. I know more about like how to deal with budgets and stuff like that, and like how to do things. I know more. I would lead the household, but I would obviously have his say. I agree 50-50, but I feel like I have some knowledge to give. So
Okay. So for the person that is the head of the house, right? They get the pretty much majority. They get the final say if there's discrepancy, right? So now with the discrepancy, if you make the wrong decision,
Oh, you have to take blame. You have to be like, you know what?
I would never make the wrong. I would never make the wrong decision.
you, man. You
I would never make the wrong decision on that side.
Okay, so you're cool if you make the wrong decision.
You got
take
it.
accountability.
You get the next vote then. Like it's like fine, I'm wrong. Like it's back and forth.
and you ain't making no
Either
mistakes.
I would not make the wrong decision. I would stand on it. I know it's right.
Okay.
If I would never stand on something if I didn't know. It was like that's true. You have to know.
Okay, you ain't opening your mouth unless you know.
Yep,
I feel
exactly.
you, man. Beautiful. Thank you very much, man. You guys are amazing,
Have a
man.
good night.
Okay, I got 3 answers.
Okay.
Loyalty, beauty, or wisdom. Put them in order according to what you want in a guy.
So loyalty, wisdom, beauty.
In that order?
Yeah.
Okay, how about you?
Loyalty, beauty, and wisdom.
Oh, okay.
Because
Now-
like what like I personally think is that like who do you know who you like what if like you gotta know who you're gonna be married to and you gotta make sure that person's loyal, you know what I mean?
Or else there's no marriage.
Exactly, and then like looks like that's like the last thing I could think of. I think about a guy like I have high standards. I think about guys who like are like husband worthy. You know what I mean?
Okay. So, in a relationship, right?
Yeah.
Marriage. Now you got the highest guy you could get.
Exactly.
You're married to him.
Yeah.
Who's the head of the house?
Me.
The woman. It's always the woman. Yes.
Okay, so the head of the house means to say that you guys call the final say.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, what if that final say is wrong? Who's responsible to fix it?
I think it's a problem that we should both solve together.
Both?
Yeah, exactly.
But you made the final decision.
Yeah, but like, if my husband wants to be with me for real, if he loves me for real, then I think we should both solve it together as a couple.
Okay. Yeah. Now, in your husband, what's the biggest ick that's gonna prevent you from picking a guy?
I can't lie, that's a hard one. I think like, just like being.
I would say somebody with bad hygiene.
By hygiene.
Bad hygiene.
A lot of girls are saying that.
Hygiene is a big thing. Yeah.
Hygiene, and how about you?
You know, if they're really like friendly with other girls, you know, like I wouldn't want somebody who's like constantly saying hello to a next girl.
Every single girl on the planet, right?
Exactly. You know, I'm just kind of
Okay.
like, if you're gonna be loyal to me, you gotta be loyal to me only.
Exactly. You're number one.
I'm number one.
Okay.
Exactly.
Now, should it be liking other girls'
No.
pictures on Instagram?
No.
Okay.
No.
Definitely no.
No.
Definitely
Okay.
no.
Now,
Because like if a guy likes a picture on a girl's Instagram, that means like he's liking what he's seeing. Correct?
Yeah.
correct.
Exactly. Yeah. That's true.
Okay, excellent. And one more thing now. So let's say hypothetically he's like, okay, he's gonna provide everything. He's gonna do everything for you, but he wants you to be a stay-at-home mom. You cool with that?
Sure. As long as I'm providing for my kids, I'm good.
You do whatever.
I do whatever. You know.
Okay, and
No, I still
You're a
like
career
to.
person.
No, I'm just kidding. I actually don't know. I don't really care to be honest.
Okay.
Regardless, I would do as long as my husband's happy. I'm happy.
Wow.
Yeah.
And where you from originally?
Colombia.
Colombia.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got the traditional thing.
Exactly.
Got you. And so you're not a stay-at-home mom.
No,
You're a
I
career
really
woman.
would love to stay busy. I love the idea of staying busy. I don't know, being independent on my own. Yeah.
Independent? Okay, so let's say hypothetically now, you make majority of the money, right? And he says to you, I want to be a stay-at-home dad while you go out and work. You're gonna let him do that?
I don't know.
I mean, I think that the relationship should be like if you're a man, you should provide for your woman, your kids, your family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But if you're happy together, then you're happy together.
If you're having some financial difficulties, I'll be more than welcome to help.
But don't let that last too long.
Yeah.
Okay, he has to jump back on that horse.
I'm gonna make sure he stays on focus.
Okay. Thank you very much, man. Nice. Thank you very much. Absolutely, man.
I get it on the go, get it on the go. I get it on the go, get it on the go. I get it on the go, get it on the go. I get it.
And I can't hold back this feeling. Oh, what a rush. And I can't stop fighting this feeling. Yeah. Now, what a rush. Mic check, the check gets cut. Yeah, that's the movement.